is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Freedom Fire Podcast, where we want to stoke the flames of freedom every single day. My name is Kendall Bowman, and ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is time once again to talk about our failed education system here in this country with a couple of stories. First, from the conventionofstates.com, shocking. Federal court takes sledgehammer to parental rights. Yes, that's right. And totally not something that they would ever do. Oh, how surprising. A federal court in Maryland declared this week that parents do not have a fundamental right to opt their kids out of radical gender education. Oh boy. Reportedly, Montgomery County Public Schools previously provided parental notice and opt-outs for books that advocate pride parades, gender transitioning, and pronoun preferences for kids as young as pre-kindergarten. Pre-kindergarten? Why? Why do they need to be learning about pride parades? Why? I think we all know the answer. The answer is they don't. But here we are in this delusional society. However, after introducing a radical new LGBTQ plus curriculum last year, the district eventually revoked parents' ability to remove their children from the classroom, despite the fact that Maryland law requires parental notification for family life and human sexuality courses. Wow. Parents teamed up with Beckett Law, the religious liberty law firm, to challenge the school's policy, requesting at a minimum a preliminary injunction before school starts again next week. Thursday, a Biden-appointed judge denied the request and ruled that opting out of a public school curriculum that conflicts with parents' religious views is not a fundamental right. So, that whole First Amendment thing, your freedom of religion, that no longer exists now. Congratulations. Congratulations. This is the society that we live in. Congratulations. I hope everyone is happy when no one gets to practice what they believe anymore. No one gets to believe anything other than what the establishment tells you to believe. Oh, are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? Are you Jewish? Nope, that's not allowed. Get in the concentration camp. You're not allowed to believe that. Get in the oven now. This is the reality we live in. And I know that you're gonna say, oh, you're exaggerating. No. I'm sure the Jews, as they were walking towards the gas chambers, were like, man, I saw this coming. Why didn't I do something? This was obvious. The writing was on the wall. Why didn't I leave? Why didn't I do something? Why didn't I stand up and fight back? Here we are, man. Here we freaking are. I want to say this again. I want to read this again for all of you that might have missed it. This Biden-appointed judge, okay? This Biden-appointed judge said opting out of a public school curriculum that conflicts with parents' religious views. Mind you, freedom of religion is a constitutional right. Once again, judge says opting out of a public school curriculum that conflicts with parents' religious views is not a fundamental right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to homeschool your kids. You have got to homeschool your kids. I don't know what else to tell you, man. This judge is quite literally saying, if you put your kid in a public school, you no longer have any rights over what they're learning, how they're learning it, who is teaching it to them. Do you realize that there are over 20, you've heard me say this. You've heard me say this over and over again. 29,000 cases every year of a public school employee molesting one of their students. 29,000 cases every year. These schools are not safe. The education that they're providing your kids is subpar at best. They're far more likely to experience violence in a public school than any other place in society except for prison. Like what is so great about these public schools that parents are willing to constantly throw their kids in them and put their kids in danger? What's so great about these schools? Oh, you as a parent, you get your little free time every day. Yeah. Oh, I get to go home by myself and have some free time while my kids are at school, and I get to just do whatever I want, and talk about my feelings. Screw your feelings, man. I'm sorry. When you signed up to be a parent, whenever you chose to have unprotected sex, and yes, whenever you choose to have unprotected sex, you are also choosing to be a parent because you know what could happen if you have unprotected sex. So whenever you choose to do that, you're also choosing to be a parent. Okay? So whenever you made that choice, you signed up for something that requires you to put your feelings aside and to only think about your children. Everything, for example, me as a parent, everything that I do is based on, is this going to affect my kid's life? How is this going to affect my kid's life? Is this going to make my kid's life better? Is this going to help my child grow into a solid human being, into a moral human being? That's it. That's all you get now as a parent. Your feelings don't matter. I'm sorry. This is the life you chose. You no longer get to choose between unsafe public school or safe homeschooling. No. There's only safe homeschooling. That's it. That's the only right choice. There is no multiple choice here. There are no multiple choices that would be okay for the child. No. It's only what is good for the child. You should not be thinking about your child's schooling saying, which one of these options is best for me as the parent? No, it's only what is best for the child. Let me continue, man. The school board should let kids be kids and let parents parent. Blaze into Eric Baxter, Beckett Senior Counsel. Children are entitled to enjoy a period of innocence and be guided by their own parents on how and when to approach the complex and sensitive issues being pushed by the school board. In a detailed report, Beckett Law breaks down the history of its federal lawsuit against NCPS. Beckett notes that last fall, the Montgomery Board of Education added over 20 new Exclusivity books for its pre-K through 8th grade classrooms. But rather than focusing on basic civility and kindness, these books champion pride parades, gender transitioning, and pronoun preferences for children. The curriculum suppresses free speech and independent thinking by having teachers tell students they are hurtful if they question these controversial ideologies. So, if you question basic biology, if you question transgenderism, you know what I'm saying? If you question transgenderism with basic biology, which these schools are supposed to be teaching basic biology, by the way. Oh, but if you question that transgenderism, oh, you're hurtful. Oh, you're a white supremacist. Oh, you're just racist. Oh, you're just evil. Oh, you're just privileged. All of these things being hurled in the face of your children. Of your children. When are you going to stop being okay with that? Like whenever you have kids, you're supposed to protect them from scumbags like this that will manipulate them and try to change them into being something that is completely false and completely wrong. Aren't you as a parent supposed to protect them from people like that? Okay, then what are you doing still keeping them in these schools? Why? Why? Tell me your excuse down in the comments, please. I'd love to have a conversation about it. Predictably, concerned parents with religious convictions voiced their opposition to the new curriculum, which they said conflicted with core teachings of their individual faiths. Beckett's court case lays out numerous parental objections to LGBTQ plus education, including the belief that mankind was divinely created as male and female, and that sex and sexuality are sacred gifts from God to be expressed through the forming of a spiritual martial bond that entails sexually distinct but mutual duties and affections. Initially, MCPS asked you, he gave in. He gave in to parents' fears, assuring them that they would be notified before the books in question were read in school and that the district would continue to respect opt-out requests. Then, in March of this year, the school board backpedaled, denying the parents of Montgomery County's more than 70,000 elementary students the right to pull them out of the classroom. At least one board member blasted the parents' diverse faith. Everyone from Protestants to Catholics to Muslims opposed the new curriculum by equating family values and core beliefs to just telling your kids, here's another reason to hate another person. Wow, man. So because we don't want our kids to grow up and pump their bodies full of hormones that will chemically castrate them, because we don't want our kids to grow up to cut their genitals off, because we don't want our kids to grow up with extreme mental illnesses like gender dysphoria that can cause them to commit suicide. Yes, that's right. People with gender dysphoria, people who are transgender, commit suicide at a 40% rate. 40%. Oh, but if you dare try to protect your kid from that, you're the evil one. You're the hateful one. Not the person that's trying to put your kid in a situation where they have a good chance of committing suicide. Yes, that's right. Once again, people who are transgender commit suicide at a 40% rate. And these people in these schools want your kids to be transgender. They are trying to force them through manipulation into becoming these disgusting sexualities where they will almost half of them are likely to commit suicide. Guys, what more do you need? What more evidence do you need? Okay, if this isn't the evidence that you need, let me try this. Let's try going back to segregation. Yeah, that's right, because we're in the 1960s. From postmillennial, California school holds segregated playdate to exclude white students. Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? And before someone in the comments goes down there and says, oh, yeah, you're just a white guy who's mad that your kids are going to get segregated. My kid's half black, okay? This wouldn't affect my kid. This wouldn't affect my kid. The reason I'm talking about this is not because it would affect my kid. It's because it's wrong. Segregation based on race is wrong. For heaven's sakes. The fact that I have to look you leftist freaks in the face and say that is insane. Let's read, man. Let's read. An elementary school in California, San Francisco based, sparked outrage after it arranged a playdate social for students that is exclusively for those who are black, brown, or Asian Pacific Islander. White students were excluded from the mixer. Let's read this little postcard that they sent out to all of the all the kids, parents as a notification for the mixer. If your family identifies as Black, Brown, or Asian Pacific Islander, or are a parent, caregiver of a Black, Brown, or Asian Pacific Islander student, come hang out while we get a chance to know each other and build our community as we kick off this school year. Feel free to bring a ball, game, or snack drinks to share, but no pressure. There will be fun games, light snacks, and drinks available. Hosted by Equity and Inclusion Committee. You see here, social for Black, Brown, and Asian Pacific Islander families. Guys, listen, man. I got no problem with kids being in an environment where they can socialize with other kids. All I'm going to say is this. This is not solving racism. I think we can all agree on that. This is not going to solve racism in this country. This right here is going to actually create more racists. Let me explain that. When you exclude a group of people from society, okay, they don't just sit there by themselves, okay? Whenever you say, "Oh, you're not allowed to be here," white person, white boy, white girl, you're not allowed to be here. Go away. They don't just go off by themselves and just stay there. No. They go off with the other white people that weren't allowed to be there, that were being segregated out, that are being discriminated against racially. And they go and they hang out with those white people. And you want to know what those white people that have been segregated out talk about? They talk about how much they hate you for segregating them out. They talk about how much they are pissed at you for segregating them out. This is only going to build more racists. It's only going to create more racist people. I don't understand how people are not getting this. Guys, parents, this is only going to stop when you start taking your kids out of schools in mass. That's the only way this is going to stop. The event was hosted by Equity and Inclusion Committee at Cabot Elementary School in Oakland, California. If your family I already read that. Below the description, a small caption says that it was hosted, yada. The event, which was created to entertain students of all colors, unless they are white, notably encourages participants to build our community as we kick off the school year. One person who said they are a parent at the school blasted the event on Reddit. I don't know about others, but I'm genuinely upset about what ultimately boils down to a no whites allowed play date, said the Reddit user, who posted the event graphic online. In other comments, the user said the event invite was emailed to all the parents and that they are particularly impassioned by this because of how backwards it is. He added, "I am firmly against racial segregation of any form and think this is the kind of event that pulls more people away from the cause they are likely trying to promote." The Reddit user also appeared to suggest that such events are pushing regular people to become more politically conservative, writing, "I know people who have literally gone full-blown conservative/Trumpers because of crap like this," which is in large part why I think I have such a visceral reaction to this event. Another user noted that the worst part is that these type of events are primarily fueled by extreme white, left of liberal, woke people who feel they can speak for people of color. I can't help but agree. I don't know what else to say, man. What more evidence do you as a parent need? What ticks me off the most is that these parents are complaining about this on the internet, but they won't do anything about it. They won't take action. Parents, if you're so pissed off about it, take your kid out of the school. But we both have to work if we want to make ends meet. No, downsize your house. You don't need the sports car that's in your driveway. Go get a 4-door sedan. Go sell the sports car. Go buy a 4-door sedan with the money, because you don't need the sports car. You can sell you can sell that. You can downsize your house, and there you go. There's the extra money that you need to be able to pay for your kids' schooling. There you go. It's not that hard. I mean, I get it. It's not the most easy thing in the world to do that. But the reality of the situation is that that's your kid. And this is the environment that you are hurling them into every day. This right here. Violence, segregation by race? Really? That's the freaking environment that you want your kid to be in. Are you sure? Guys, come on, man. You have got to do better. We have got to do better as parents. When something like this is happening that we know is wrong and that ticks us off to all end as to why our kids are being put through this, take action. Take your kids out of these schools, man. You got to take your kids out of these schools. These state governments, the federal government, they will never give a crap about your kid. They will use your kid to push their agendas every day. That's all they want to do with your child, is push their agendas. And that's what they're going to do until you do something about it. Take your kid out of the schools, man. I don't know what else to tell you, but I'm going to keep talking about this. I'm going to keep pointing out the disgusting things going on in our schools until parents finally freaking wake up and do something, man. I'm going to keep talking about it. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'll have another video coming for you guys probably tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section, and share the show with your friends. Follow me on all the socials down in the description, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.